Yes, hello everyone. My name is Aaron. I'm VP Operations and co-founder at AeroShield, where our super insulating transparent materials are enabling the next generation of energy efficient products. So my co-founders are Dr. Elise Strobach, who is one of the inventors of this material at the MIT Device Research Lab, as well as Dr. Kyle Wilkie, who is also a PhD at the MIT DRL. I myself, I did the Leaders for Global Operations program here. I did my master's in chemical engineering as well as my MBA. Now, I know in the crowd we have people working on a diverse range of topics, industries, but there might be a material that all of you have in common. Whether you work in buildings and construction, EVs, appliances, consumer electronics, you probably heard that consumers want more glass. But unfortunately, glass has an energy efficiency problem. Let's use buildings as an example. We love windows in our buildings and in our homes, but even a double pane window is an incredibly poor insulator. This is a thermal scan of a building, and what you can see is that windows are just less insulating than walls. What you might not know is that 30 to 40% of all the energy that we put into our buildings is lost through the windows. And this results in energy wasted of about $200 billion a year, or 5% of global CO2 emissions. But when you think about it, it is a hard problem to solve. You know, we expect a lot of it out of our windows, and there's not a lot of materials that are both transparent and insulating, durable and cost-effective. In fact, the best technology we really have in windows right now is just adding another pane of glass. You know, you create a triple pane product that is 50% heavier, 50% more expensive, 50% higher embodied carbon. But that's really where AeroShield sees opportunity. AeroShield can improve the performance of insulated glass and create a product that is thinner, lighter, and less expensive. Now, all this is possible because of a breakthrough in silica aerogels. Now, if you've ever heard of a silica aerogel, this is probably what you've heard about or seen before. Silica aerogels were originally developed by NASA to insulate spacecraft because they are literally the most thermally insulating material ever created, or at least they were. Some carbon nanotube work at MIT is kind of pushing the boundaries on that, but incredibly thermally insulating, super light, and fire resistant. But they'd always been hazy and blue. You know, this is not a product that you would want in a window. And it was during Elise's PhD work where she modified the nanostructure and found optimal processes and formulations to create the optical properties like glass while maintaining all those thermal and fire-resistant properties of the aerogel material itself. And so we now have the ability to modify the optical properties of this aerogel in a wide variety of ways and create products that are both super insulating and super clear. And so yes, definitely come by the showcase. I have a prototype that you can come see. This is an example of it on the slide for the people on the live stream. This is what a 14-inch by 20-inch prototype looks like with an aerogel. This is a window with about 5 millimeters of aerogel inside that would be about 65% more energy efficient than a standard double pane window. And I think the best part of it is we spent all this time and you can't even tell it's there. So that's the culmination of our work. Where we are today is we're trying to scale up our manufacturing and work with industrial companies and potential partners to do all the industry standard testing and certification required for these first products to get into market. So on the screen, you see on the left, we're working with a door manufacturer. These are aerogel insulated panes that are installed in a door and going through what they call the slam test, so 25,000 slams to prove mechanical stability. On the right, a little bit less exciting, but these are heat lamps, right? So those blast intense heat and UV radiation to accelerate aging. And again, AeroShield has survived kind of thousands of hours of this type of testing, proving out the chemical stability of our material as well. And so here today, I'm looking to talk to people who are interested in partnering with AeroShield. We think that our material has incredible ability to reduce CO2 emissions and save home and consumers money, but we know that to do this, we need scale. And so we're looking to talk to people in the chemical manufacturing industry who can either work with us in terms of supply agreements for some of our chemicals, or think about large-scale contract manufacturing as we try and do process scale-up. We're looking for innovators in windows and insulated glass who want to have the most energy-efficient window on the market. And we're also looking for innovation teams for things like ovens, freezer doors, solar thermal, or EV and aerospace windows, who think that this material could be a useful thing for the toolkit of their R&D teams. So if you are like us and believe that there's huge potential to decarbonize the industry with super insulating materials, we would love to talk to you. So please come by our booth over in the showcase. Thank you very much.